In May 2024, an unsettling malfunction struck the T-90, Russia's premier main battle tank. Dubbed the best tank in the world by Russian President Vladimir Putin, this advanced war machine faced an unexpected reality on the battlefield when, during clashes in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region, the T-90 was struck. After being hit from the front, then shockingly from above by a drone captured on camera, a T-90's turret suddenly started to spin out of control. With its turret whirling, the add-on metal cage and anti-drone nets fail, leaving the crew helpless and forcing them to flee on foot. This incident, quickly spreading online, sparks debate. Some say it is a sign of overcoming weaknesses, others as a glaring indication that even the mightiest are not invulnerable. The tank shown in the May 2024 video is a T-90, the Russian main battle tank. First entering Russian service in 1992, and more or less in production since then, it was originally designed to replace 3 tanks, then in service with the Soviet armed forces, the T-64, T-72, and T-80. Each of these was created and manufactured by different firms, causing a logistical nightmare as almost none of their parts were interchangeable. While the overall design of the T-90 is derived from the T-72, several upgrades have made it a capable, modern tank. Weighing about 46 tons, the T-90 measures roughly 31.23 feet in length, including its gun, and stands at 7.22 feet in height. This tank is equipped with a 125mm smoothbore gun with an autoloader, reducing crew requirements and increasing the rate of fire. Since 2022, manufacturing of T-90 has slowed down due to the international sanctions since the start of the invasion of Ukraine. However, this new conflict resulted in some of the largest tank encounters since World War II. Through new obstacles and threats, during the conflict, Russia suffered heavy tank losses that many analysts consider staggering, given the perceived disparity in equipment, manpower, and training at the outset of the war. While many T-90s appear to be unstoppable machines, when left unsupported by infantry, air cover, and artillery fire, they have proven vulnerable, especially to one tiny adversary, the drone. One of the greatest threats to Russian tanks and other equipment since the invasion began is the use of first-person view drones in kamikaze attacks. While not the first conflict to employ drones, the Russo-Ukrainian War spurred significant technological innovations in this type of warfare. Ukrainian drone operators use a tactical teamwork approach, utilizing one drone as a spotter to identify targets, which then guides an attack drone directly to the enemy. For more than 2 years, these teams have perfected their skills in targeting vulnerabilities in Russian tanks like the T-90, exploiting structural weak points effectively during combat operations in a cat-and-mouse style of asymmetric warfare. This tactic, among others, caused Russia to lose tanks at an alarming rate. As the conflict progressed, the Russian army was forced to deploy older models like the T-62s, dating back to the 1960s. Despite these losses, Russia seems undeterred by the depletion of its tank reserves. The country's ability to absorb these losses relies largely on its budgetary allocations, which have funded an extensive tank production initiative over the last 2 years. Thanks to this, Russia resumed a significant production capacity for its main battle tank. In 2023, production, especially of the latest variant, the T-90M Prorib, was ramped up. This initiative is now yielding results, with more factories producing them and creating substitutes for foreign-made systems. Speculation about the exact number of fresh and upgraded tanks these factories can produce varies. While early reports suggested about 20 tanks a month, recent updates indicate that the Russian defense industry could produce up to an impressive 100 main battle tanks a month. There's even a newer upgrade to the Russian models. In early February 2024, the Russian Ministry of Defense unveiled a video highlighting the upgraded T-90M tank in action in Ukraine, showcasing its significant improvements. The footage and subsequent expert analysis reveal that the T-90M was outfitted with an additional layer of explosive reactive armor across the front of both the turret and the hull. It also features cage armor over its top and an anti-drone net, specifically designed to counter the increasing use of first-person view drones and loitering munition attacks. The T-90M boasts improvements in firepower and operational systems, including a more powerful gun, enhanced targeting systems, and improved mobility features, ensuring it remains a powerful force in combat. These upgrades have proven effective, as incidents in Ukraine have shown T-90Ms withstanding hits without internal explosions. In late February 2024, captured footage displayed a Russian T-90M tank that remarkably survived a Ukrainian drone attack. Photos show noticeable damage to the tank's protective features and metal canopy. Although the explosive reactive armor on the protective roof showed signs of detonation, the tank's core framework remained virtually untouched, almost ready for battle. Despite the T-90M tank's remarkable resilience during its encounter with the Ukrainian kamikaze drone, the overall pattern indicates that even the renowned T-90M is not invincible, especially when drones are paired with other weaponry. With an Achilles heel located at the junction between the chassis and the turret as a point of vulnerability when facing kamikaze drones, it was only a matter of time before another not-so-successful attack was also caught on camera. In late May 2024, during an encounter in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region, Ukrainian troops riding 2 US-supplied M2 Bradley fighting vehicles came face-to-face with one of the Russian T-90s. In this encounter, caught on camera, the Bradleys hit the Russian tank with rapid 25mm cannon fire. While it was expected to cause little damage to the T-90 due to their heavy frontal armor, after a few shots, the tank's turret suddenly started rapidly spinning in a clockwise direction. Going round and round again with no end in sight, this strange occurrence left the Russians no chance of accurately returning fire to the Ukrainians and significantly hindering combat. Ultimately, the gun barrel slammed into a tree, which stopped the spinning. Unable to return any fire, the tank's crew quickly fled on foot. Most of the clips shared online at this incident ended right there, after the disco head glitch stopped, hinting at the tank's survival. However, in the complete footage, only a few seconds later, the tank was ultimately demolished by a small team of Ukrainian first-person view attack drones. The May 2024 rotating turret glitch led to countless commenters and opinions, from experts to fanatics alike. One theory behind the mysterious incident suggests that minor hits penetrated the turret, injuring the operator, who may have slumped over the controls, inadvertently causing the erratic movements. The second theory discussed online related to the automated aiming system of the T-90, similar to those in other modern tanks, which keeps the gun locked on a target. Damage to the optics could send incorrect signals to the fire control system, resulting in the turret spinning uncontrollably. A third explanation involves the tank's defensive mechanisms, specifically its laser warning receiver. This system triggers an alarm and automatically rotates the turret to face a laser-illuminated threat while deploying flares to disrupt laser guidance. However, if external sensors are damaged, they might send false signals, causing the turret to rotate unexpectedly. In an interview, former British Army tank commander Hamish de Bretton-Gordon stated that the problem likely lies with inexperienced crews and poor electronics. According to him, quote, "It's very easy for inexperienced people to become very disoriented in a tank, because a tank's hull can move in one direction, the turret could be in another direction, and the commander's sight could be in a completely other direction. Which is why we get the term disco head, because people can easily become disoriented and the tank spins out of control." By developing enhanced tank models, Russia strives to stay ahead of new threats and maintain the effectiveness of its armored forces. Russia is not the only country making these changes. Since the onset of the intense Russo-Ukrainian conflict in early 2022, both parties have substantially adjusted their tank fleets in direct response to escalating threats to their armored forces. Ukraine's M1 Abrams tanks are also being fitted with new cope cages designed as anti-drone armor, as well as explosive reactive armor to address vulnerabilities exposed by drones and protect against modern aerial threats. This development came a few weeks after the May 2024 video, and roughly a month after American officials reportedly said that Ukrainian forces had pulled the M1A1s from the front lines due to concerns about their vulnerability to first-person view kamikaze drones and other unmanned aerial threats. Still, the extent to which Ukraine's Abrams tanks have returned to service since the upgrade remains unclear. According to Alexander Mironenko, the operational director of Medinvest, a Ukrainian steel and mining company involved in developing these extra protections, the upgrades help maintain tank effectiveness in combat zones, but most importantly, quote, "Anti-drone steel screens help not only to protect expensive equipment from damage by the enemy, but also protect the lives of Ukrainian servicemen. As the conflict extends into its third year, military analysts and web sleuths alike will be monitoring how effective these upgrades are under combat conditions."